I've tried like coaching with other people before. I wanted to improve at the game pretty much. That's the reason why, I guess.
Yep.
I've
Yep.
uh I've had a problem with like consistency, like playing wise for
Yep.
over the years.
Hmm.
I started playing Overwatch like pretty much since the beginning, like when it first came out. Started on console and I just fell in love with it, so I've been playing ever since, pretty
Okay.
much.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And I see tank player. Why tank?
Yeah. I so I love playing tanks, I guess. I don't know. I just fell in love with it.
Sure.
Actually,
Sure.
weirdly enough.
Sure. Okay. Okay. Now, my question for you is, I don't want to like jump too deep too fast, um, but I am curious to know when you talk about struggles with consistency playing the game. How long has that been an issue, and what do you think are some of the contributing factors to
Um, I think it's been an issue for I guess the majority of the time. Uh, there was always like certain IRL reasons.
that? Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to get too deep
No,
into
I
that, but
got that. That's your business.
yeah. And then I guess some of it would be like ranked anxiety sometimes. I think I had a problem with that too. I still do sometimes. And then another one that's actually kind of weird too is I think like I think I get satisfied. So a part of me gets satisfied, but then there's another part of me uh that doesn't, and it kind of they kind of fight with each other. So like
Hmm.
I've hit like GM4, I'll hit like a high rank, and I'll be like, oh, like part of me's like, oh, okay, that's good enough. But then I'll like take a break a couple days, and then the other part comes back where it's like, no, you got to get back to it, you got to grind, you got to get back. And I do want to be like that's like my goal is to be like GM1 top 500 tank, and I
Now,
don't
why
know.
do you want to be GM1 top 500?
I I want to like I want to do like scrims and play competitively. Not for I mean, I know I probably wouldn't ever be good enough to like actually play like professional. I just want to do it because it's fun, I guess.
Sure. Sure. Have you been on
Yeah.
part of a team before, or would that be your
Yeah,
experience?
I've been on a few teams before. I'm
Okay.
actually making my own at the moment right now
Mhm.
actually.
Mhm. So,
Um
so what changes about the GM top 500 scene then from where you're at right now?
you said what change?
Yeah. Well, why you're like, well, I want to so that I can do the competitive thing, but you're already kind of doing the competitive thing right now.
Um I want like I think the problem I always had was like finding uh players that like kind of like want to grind and um like want to do it consistently too, like
Right.
which is kind of ironic because I have the same problem, I guess. But yeah, it's weird. It's very conflicting. So yeah, I'm not very I don't know, it's hard to explain, I guess.
No, no, it's hard to explain, but I understand completely.
Yeah.
Where there's a feeling of like I want to do that, but sometimes when I actually do that, I don't really feel motivated to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the way I look at it. I look at it as binary, where it could be maybe you're shooting too high, you're aiming too high, and you're aspiring to be somebody that you're never going to be.
Mhm.
And or it could also be that because you're aiming for so high that you're getting immediately discouraged.
uh
Uh,
yeah.
what you could make here's a question. Um, what rank are you right now? Masters one still? The form says Masters one.
Well, about that. So, this season happened and I've had a very dramatic turn of events this past week where I've lost so many games I can't even comprehend. I've never lost this many games before, and I'm currently in diamond. So
Okay. Okay,
that's
but
pretty bad. Yeah,
I mean, it happens, but I'm sure you'll bounce back. So,
yeah.
in terms of, you know what, let's not even structure things in terms of rank. What is your like the straight up average playtime per day per week?
Uh, I'd say right now I try at least play like at least 2 hours a day. Um, maybe not all the time. It's hard to say. I'd say maybe like 10 hours a week,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 12.
Okay.
10, 12.
Is the 10 easy and the 15 difficult, or is even the 10 difficult?
Um, I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's just based. I guess it's just based on whether I log in or not, because I can always get the hours in when I log in. Sometimes something in my mind like avoids me from logging in sometimes. And I have
How
a just to let you know, I do have a problem with ADHD really
Sure,
bad. So I get
sure,
I'll get distracted on like with other things
sure,
very
sure.
easily,
I
and I'll
gotcha.
forget. Yeah,
Do you fixate once you've logged in and play for too long?
fixate. What do you mean
Like, as in,
exactly?
once you log in, do you just play and play and play?
Um, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. I'll just play. Um,
Okay. How long usually?
so like, I usually just get on at nighttime, so I'll get on maybe like 7:30, 8. Um, and then play till I get tired, I guess.
Sure. Okay. How long does that usually take?
Or before I have to go to work. Probably like maybe 5 hours. Sometimes I'll play like 2 hours. Sometimes I'll play longer than that.
Okay. Here's what I'm seeing so far, at least with
Mhm.
your Overwatch. I mean, this is telling you something you already know, but you're definitely erratic. Um,
Yeah.
to say the least. Have you ever tried to like address this and create a schedule for yourself?
Uh, I've tried before, and then
How did it
like
go?
I said, I'll stop.
How long? How long? Weekend? 3 days in? 2 weeks in?
Um, Depends on how everything's going, I guess.
Sure. Give me an example of a schedule that you set before. Do you remember when the last time you tried it? What did you try to do?
Well, I guess when I was on teams, things were more scheduled.
Hmm.
So I would show up for scrims, play some ranked after, or maybe we'll do like a VOD. Um, that helped me a lot. But then when I'm not on a team, uh, that's when things become more like erratic, I guess.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
So it's like I want to get my rank up so I can find a team to join that's going to train consistently so that my rank will be consistent. But how do I get my rank up to get to the point where I can join a team so I can be consistent?
Yeah.
Right. So here's the solution. You ready for the solution?
Yeah.
Small improvements, small bites. You got to start. You got to start small and you got to start consistently. Like for you, here's what I would do. You're working on getting a team set up right now. Great. Stick with it. Even if it's just once or twice a week, stick with it. You're trying to be more consistent with your Overwatch gameplay. Great. Stick with it. But here's what I would not do. I wouldn't say that I have to play Overwatch every single day necessarily.
Okay.
What I would say is that I need to never ever go 2 days in a row without playing Overwatch.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Don't
Yeah.
set the bar to this is perfect. I have to stick with perfect because what's going to end up happening is you're going to get really discouraged because you're not going to be perfect.
Yeah.
So look at where you're at right now in terms of training schedule and what is the one thing that you could do a little bit better consistently and you're confident you could stick with it. You tell me.
Well, I actually thought about something like that this week. Was like maybe try to do a VOD before I play.
Okay. Is that going to be something you're able to consistently do every single day or is it going to get demotivating, take too long, or be boring? Because every single day is a lot.
A part of me wants to say yes, but another part of me wants to say no.
So as long as there's another part of you saying no, then I think the answer is no.
Okay.
So then what's another adjustment that you could do to improve? Now again, we're not fixed, just improve your consistency.
Um, Maybe I guess play at least play for an hour of ranked
A
or
day?
something. Maybe, yeah.
Is that something that you're going to be able to do? Is there a part of you that's also saying no to that too?
I think I could do that.
Okay.
That's like 3 ranked games pretty much.
Yeah, 3 ranked games. That's all. Maybe not even 7 days a week. Maybe 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Try it out. See how it goes.
Okay.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Is like you can't put yourself under the bench press and throw 600 kilos, on it and expect to do it the first time. What are you gonna do? You're gonna injure yourself. You're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna get discouraged, right?
Mhm.
And honestly, right now, what might seem like a normal schedule that normal people could do, right? What's wrong with me is just you're just not able to do it right now. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you necessarily. It just means that that's not exactly a strong point of yours. Whether it's the ranked anxiety, personal stuff, ADHD, just maybe honestly, maybe not enjoying the game as much as you would have liked, right? So don't force yourself.
Yeah, that happens. That happens too.
You know,
Especially like I told myself that I really wanted to grind this season, and then it ends up being a really rough season for tanks. I don't know.
right?
Maybe that's just my opinion, but I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean, I think you're. It's like, whether it's partially biased or partially your opinion or not. That's another reason why you wouldn't want to bite off too much. Just do something small, see how it grows. Start with 3 ranked games a day. Stick with that. Because like I remember I had these issues where I would like have like these perfect, I had to do this, and this, and check that, and VOD review over this and that, and I would consider myself a pretty disciplined person.
Mhm.
It really burned me out. It really burned me out. So what I did is I found like where the line was where I didn't have that little voice in my head saying, you can't do it, you're not going to do it, it's not going to be fun. And I stuck with that.
Yeah.
And that made
I
it so much easier. That made it so much easier.
Yeah, I overthink a lot too, and then a part of me feels guilty for not doing something because I told
Right.
myself I want to do it, and then when I don't do it, I feel bad.
But guilt isn't a great motivator.
Yeah.
Guilt is not a great motivator. Because you still won't do it and you'll just feel badly about it, right? Instead, go, you know what? I'm going to set the bar really low, but it's still higher than where I'm at right now with something that seems reasonable. And most importantly, is going to be fun. Like the goal is that this should be fun, right? This shouldn't be a chore. And then see how it goes. And I'm going to be honest with you. If you're not able to play 3 ranked games 6 days a week without like getting burned out or distracted or not having fun, then honestly, maybe the goal isn't GM1 or top 500. I'd love to be a millionaire, but I'm not willing to put in the amount of sacrifices and go into the career paths that would get me to be a millionaire, right?
Yeah.
I chose to abandon I have a bachelor's in finance, and I was going to go into financial advising almost 10 years ago. Chose not to because it's freaking boring. So am I regretting the lack of cash? Of course. Am I regretting the decision? No, I'm not.
Mhm.
No, make certain choices, right? Make certain choices. Now, the problem is if you're the type of person that can't stick or commit to anything, period, right?
Yeah.
But even then, the solution isn't to get angry and feel guilty and force yourself to do something. The solution is small steps. So whether Overwatch really isn't for you, or whether you're just a very undisciplined and hard to stick with anything person, the solution's the same. You were saying something. Sorry.
I think another thing was damn, I lost it.
My bad.
No, it's okay. I have a lot of like when I'm not playing Overwatch, I think about Overwatch all the time. It's like I guess I like that. Maybe I'm too in love with the idea of it. I don't know. It's weird.
You ever heard of the game Age of Empires 2?
Yes. Yeah.
You say yes like you know a decent about it.
I played. I used to watch. I watched this YouTube channel. This guy like he casts games.
What was the name?
I forgot his name.
Was it Zero Empires? T90?
Yeah.
T90? Bro, I've been watching T90 for like a month.
Yeah.
I was literally going to use him as an analogy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would love watching his videos. I would watch it when I would go to bed.
Same. Oh my gosh, now you're freaking me out. That's like the last couple of weeks I've been enjoying watching it while dinner. I don't know why, but see, that's a great example of like, you know what I do is I could get really good at Age of Empires 2. I could really lose myself in that game, but I don't really have time for it,
Mm-hmm.
So what I do though is because I used to play it, is I will watch T90 YouTube videos, the pros, and it's so much fun. But that might be you with Overwatch. I'm not saying that it is, but I'm saying that like thinking about Overwatch doesn't necessarily mean that you like grinding Overwatch, right? It's not the same thing. You might like the game, you just might not like playing the game all that much, which sounds strange, but this happens all the time in all sorts of hobbies, like American football, right? Have you ever heard of like the whole fantasy football thing?
Yeah.
People do that all the time, right? I mean, I know people that are like obsessed with, there's a lot of people that are obsessed with watching football, but have never played a game of football in their lives, So like, it's just sometimes you just enjoy the game or the sport, but you're not super invested in playing it yourself. That's not weird, really. So I guess I'm not saying that's necessarily you. All I'm saying is you need to be thinking clearly about, really, is this what I enjoy?
Mm-hmm.
Do I enjoy consistently and repeat over and over and over again playing the game? Is 3 games a day, does that start to remove some of the fun? You know?
Well,
You might not know the answer just yet.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I would think, and my brain logically was like, well, if I put this much time, like, well, not played this long, stuck with the game for this long, through the bad, through the good, I feel like I do love it.
I feel like so, probably too. But do you
Yeah.
GM1 top 500 love it? Because you know what? The hard stuck silver Mercy mains with 6,000 hours on Mercy love the game too. They just love it in a different way. Do you know how I love the game? Here's what I love the game. I started as a work project where I one-trick a character and ranked so that I can learn how to coach them better. I did it with the Orisa rework. I did it with Brig and May, like in season 2, to see how they function in Overwatch 2. I'm currently doing it with the Sombra rework. I did it with Lifeweaver. And it started off as a work project because I wanted to coach better. But you know what? I actually realized I genuinely like one-tricking a character, out and off at a character, and like experimenting with playstyles.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have the time or interest, and I really wouldn't have fun like actually properly grinding the characters anymore. I mostly just play quick play with friends. That's how I enjoy Overwatch mostly.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
I take my I itch my competitive urge elsewhere, to be honest with you, not here. So for you, it's like I play the game a lot, I enjoy the game a lot, but do you love competing in the game really, really hard? You might like competing a little bit, or even a medium amount, or even a lot, but it takes a special level of dedication and really love to get to GM1 top 500.
Yeah.
And not having that level of drive is not a bad thing. So here's what I would do is like, is the problem your lack of commitment, or is your problem the fact that you're forcing yourself? You feel like I ought to really love grinding and competing at that level and feeling guilty when you don't. I don't know. It might be a little bit of both. So do with what we said, 3 or 4 games per day, stick with it for a while, see how it goes.
Okay.
See how it goes. And if you're like, hey, this is a blast, I'm actually like improving a little bit here, I'm actually really enjoying competing, I think I can dabble a little bit more. Okay, dabble a little bit more. Maybe you're like, this is too much, or maybe this is just right. You know, mama bear, papa bear, baby bear, kind of a story, kind of an idea, right? Find out where you fall in that spectrum and see how it goes.
All right. Yeah.
Don't gaslight yourself into feeling that I should be doing more. You know, it really isn't eating your vegetables, you know? It's just a video game. So
yeah.
Okay. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions so far?
No, not really.
Okay. I feel you. I gaslit myself for a little while that I was going to be the best Overwatch League coach of all time. And then I coached in Overwatch League for 2 seasons, and I did a darn good job at it, if I do say so myself. And I realized I freaking hate this.
Yeah.
I was not willing to make the sacrifices IRL to do it. And I started to steal the love of the game I had. I wasn't willing to leave my family and live remotely with a bunch of sweaty dudes for 8 months out of the year. I just wasn't willing to make sacrifices. So guess what? It's not like I'm stupid. Yeah. It's not like there's anything wrong with me. It's not like I didn't understand the game well enough or could communicate. I just wasn't willing to make those sacrifices.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pardon for the lawn mowing in the background, by the way, if you hear that.
No, I don't hear it. I would just say I would add one more thing, just real quick before we get started on the VOD. I do have a love for esports, and I think that's been my dream to be involved in some kind of way. Mm-hmm. Even if I'm not good enough to be a player, do something.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, be involved in some kind of way to be a part of it, because I love gaming and I love esports.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it has to be playing, like you said. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
just get involved with it. Try some stuff out. See what you enjoy. To me, I think there are certain people, most people that feel like they have motivation issues. Partly, at least, there is always a part discipline, but also part finding their passion problem. I think people tend to force themselves into what they feel like their passion should be. This is a big problem in working out too, where like the New Year's resolutions and people are like, I have to work out at the gym an hour and a half per day, right? And just doing stuff that they hate, you know, instead of like, you know, finding something that's more manageable and trying to tailor their fitness to something that's more fun or that they enjoy doing more. But yeah, anyway. All right. Last thing I'm going to say is it possible if I beg and plead that you would get 6.5 hours of sleep?
I try.
Okay.
First, I do have like a health thing
Sure. Sure.
where even if I get 8 hours of sleep, it's gonna
Okay.
it's
Then
not gonna feel like 8 hours of
I
sleep.
gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay. That's your call. But I'm sure that's something that you put a lot of research into. So I
yeah.
will not bother you more than you need to be.
Yeah. I would say it's. I'll just tell you, it's just sleep apnea. I have a
Yeah.
sleep apnea
Very
problem.
common. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that. I know that can be really rough.
I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to get this IRL stuff. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm
Good.
working on it basically.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good for you.
Yeah.
That because the thing is, here's the thing is like I don't think people like put enough emphasis on that. So I know that takes guts to do. So I respect it.
Yeah, I understand the sleep stuff because I wouldn't give this to my worst enemy. It's the worst thing ever, man.
Yeah,
So
I can imagine. I can imagine. Well, my condolences, but also my compliments on you trying to sort it out.
yeah,
Do you want to like look at some gameplay?
sure. Okay. So yeah, I'll pull up the code right now. So I didn't get the best games ever. But I think I got something that would be decent enough to actually look at.
Okay, works for me.
All right. Um. So that's an Ilios game. I did play with my friend. He was a little bit lower rated. And we tried to grind together. I taught him. Well, I didn't really teach him, but he grinded like Overwatch 1 during like the last year, and we've been playing together ever since. So we're trying to grind the game together.
All right, works for me. As long
Yeah.
as you guys have equal goals and don't distract each other too much.
Yeah.
Alrighty, D.Va time.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
boy.
a off tank player. I was off tank Sigma D.Va, and I did play some Reinhardt too.
Okay,
But well, not in this game, but in Overwatch 1, that's
sure,
pretty much what my hero pool was.
sure. I find D.Va to be one of the more complicated tanks in the game.
Yeah.
Certainly in Overwatch 2, because you have to perfectly mold that main tank kill threat, off tank deny threat experience.
Yeah.
That's where I really find the differences between the main tank and off tank experiences, where off tanks have more of the denying threat by sacrificing their willingness to chase kills to deny people who are going to get space. So, like for example, like right now, Tracer is probably the last person in the world that you're ever going to kill on their composition, but she might be the first one that you prioritize right now. Why?
Because she has the most, I guess, the closest enough to having threat
Right,
on
exactly.
compared to everybody else.
Exactly. And also if you consider it from like a matrix perspective, you don't necessarily have a very high chance of a kill, but you do have a really good matchup versus Tracer in terms of denying her value, right? Just through the matrix, right? So for example, here, I might not hard dive on that Tracer, but I am very attentive to where she is and what she's doing. And honestly,
Mhm.
I don't really see anything on the screen right now that really demands my attention. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Can you really deny engage, ball slam? No. Can you deny his shots afterwards? Yes.
Yeah.
But you know what's more important than ball shots? Tracer
Tracer.
shots.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to be able to zone backline right now. Backline is kind of MIA. Genji's kind of MIA as well. You need to be at least looking at this Tracer.
Okay.
Have you heard me coach Tracer before?
No. I usually just watch your tank videos mostly.
Mole? You ever heard of the game Whack-A-Mole? Like a Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah.
All right. That's what D.Va is. Right now, which mole's sticking their head up?
Tracer.
Tracer.
Like,
Whack-A-Mole.
yeah.
So you're chasing here. If this is a Zenyatta or a Widowmaker, I get it.
Yeah.
High kill threat and something that you can easily deal with. But I see nothing on your screen that is easy to deal with. But I do see some targets that are very easy to kill your team, and you're ignoring.
Yeah.
You get me? It's a game of prioritization. This is why this character is so freaking hard. So hard. If you're a Winston, you just dive. Just dive. Like what are you gonna do versus a Tracer, right? Just dive a Kiriko, Moira, force her CDs, distract them while your team deals with the Tracer. Right now, you're trolling. Yes. Why?
Because she's a support, I guess. And I don't know if I saw her use Fade or not. I think I heard it. I don't
Even
know.
if you didn't, right? You're a shotgun hero, right?
Yeah.
You are on very close to the Moira. So focus the Moira.
Yeah.
That's it. There you go. You force fade. That's good. That's good value. So if you're gonna feed by setting up there, you might as well get something out of the way, right? Might as well do something while you're there, right? Why?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
He used deflect and he started taking damage.
Yeah,
I felt like
and
we can kill him.
yeah, yeah.
And Genji's with me.
He's the most killable target that you can see right now. Okay, goodbye.
Yeah.
Same thing here, right? You prioritize kill targets that you can kill, or targets that are going aggressive that will kill your team.
Yeah.
Right now, you should prioritize dealing with or shooting who?
Sim.
Right.
Right. I got scared, I guess.
I mean, I would too, right? I think you do need to disengage there, but it's more of along lines of like, okay, in theory, what should you do?
Yeah.
Ball, because he's close.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're just like, oh, I'm gonna try and disengage and play for time. That's fine. Yeah, this is all fine. Nice. I don't know that I would have died for it, you know?
Yeah.
I think, you know, once you're here, it's okay to just disengage, give up point. So I would already be flying out this way. Let them cap point. They've overextended. And was it worth the extra 1% of Koth point to lose your, you know what I'm saying? Your mech?
Yeah.
Not right. That's okay. Okay. Now we get a 4K remake. Surely.
I wish. Do that all the time. That'd be great.
5K.
Hey, got the
yeah,
mine.
listen, 5K, 5 mines. That was at least 5 mines. See, I knew it. I never doubted for a second. Why are you prioritizing the ball there?
He was diving my
Whack-a-mole.
soldier. Yeah.
Right. Nobody else in the enemy team was doing anything. Now, who's your priority? Or was briefly.
Kiri, I guess.
Right. Kiri was the one that was overextended, right? You always prioritize the squishy over the tank, unless the tank is over pushing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nah. Funny. To be honest with you, this is just dumb. Your Genji's in spawn. I would just be kind of holding space here and seeing what happens. I'd be careful about overextending here.
Okay.
Like it's a good play. Maybe okay. It just doesn't.
I killed like 3 here. I think.
It just doesn't feel like we can't coach results. You know what I'm saying? We have to coach like in theory full cooldowns. Your Genji's in spawn into a Symmetra. I don't know. I don't see it. To be honest. I don't see it. That being said, you're the greatest of all time. I never doubted for a second. I will say though, you were close to them. You were a shotgun character. So that kind of stuff will happen when you put yourself at point blank range on squishies. So in that aspect, nice job. Nice. Very real hero.
Yeah.
All right. Reaper's another great one. Can you kill Reaper easily?
Yeah. I mean, well, you can force fade out easily.
Exactly. You can't kill Reaper easily, but you have very high impact on Reaper, if that makes sense, in terms of denying his value while also kind of pressuring it, right? What do you think? Smart? Not smart?
I felt like at the time when she was low, I felt like I could maybe break through and kill her.
Whack-a-mole, right? Who should it be? I think Brig. I really do. Yeah. It's good. Because the thing is this, if you make the right call of who to deny or who to pressure as D.Va, even if you don't get the kill, you'll force the cooldowns or force the resources that allow your team to win indirectly. Like, for example, right now, what is this rally providing to her team?
Nothing.
Literally nothing. You know what? I'll take that. Even if you don't get the kill right now, there's no rally value going to Reaper. Kiriko doesn't have a TP. Soldier's totally MIA. Ball's getting no help. I'll take it. Could you be matrixing this ball right now? Yes. But would it be worth it to let the Brig and Reaper do whatever they want? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think you're making the right call here. And you have a real chance of actually killing her. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I get into my mode where I start wanting to just kill
Bloodlust.
stuff. Yeah.
But what have you just enabled? Whack-a-mole.
I should be on ball, I think, since he's going to my team. Yeah, Reaper too. Yeah, I forgot about him.
This guy's right here, and you fly away from him, right? Again,
Yeah.
This is why D.Va's hard. Because if you were Winston or Wrecking Ball, I mean, I can't really kill this guy, right? So, like, what am I doing wasting my time? I'm going to go kill the squishy, right?
Yeah.
But you're D.Va. It's not just about what you can kill. Because you can't kill this guy. But you can't deal with him. You see what I'm saying? And right now, who's the most aggressive person? Soldier or Reaper?
Reaper.
What if Soldier was tactical visoring from here?
Then he would, yeah, I would.
Whack-a-mole, right?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? What if there was a Widowmaker scoping right here?
Oh, definitely.
You get what I'm saying, though? It's not necessarily about the proximity, although that's a very important part of it. It's about understanding, like, okay, this guy's kind of low. This guy's not even peeking. He's not a threat right now. Reaper's point blank on top of my entire team. I have to deal with him. And this is, frankly, feeding.
I didn't even go on him. I forgot about it.
Yeah. I mean, it happens.
I think I saw a Genji and then he, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Besides that, though, really nice fight. I mean, there's a reason that you're masters, or were masters.
Yeah.
Good? Now, it sounds like blasphemy, but what should she be doing right now?
Probably nothing, I guess.
Probably nothing. Or go back and deal with the ball, or go back and deal with the Genji, right? I think it's like you could zone backline right now, but why is zoning backline right now not really a priority?
Because they're not dangerous.
Because they're not dangerous. Now, if the backline were to walk forward to say here, would you then zone backline?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're towing the line. You get what I'm saying? You could ignore these guys for a solid few seconds. They're not going to do anything. And I speak from experience playing this character. I'm out for a while, right? Yeah. Like so utilize that time to actually prioritize what actually needs help, right? Because you're like, oh, I'm zoning backline. Do you know what would be zoning backline right now if you weren't here? The wall.
Yeah.
They have travel time. They're not going to get there just yet. So don't waste your time, and then give them 2 or 3 seconds. Then go zone backline. And now you'll be zoning backline when it actually matters. You'll have full HP, full matrix. Ball will be 1 HP. Genji will be 1 HP. Case in point. See, even there, right? You go for the Genji, which was the right play, right? But it was too late. It was too late.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. What do you think?
Not a
was
good
he?
play.
Are you sure? Was he in a position to actually hurt your team? You
For
see
a
it?
second, yeah, he right clicked.
I think this is smart.
Oh, you okay?
I do, because seriously, look. If you don't go for this guy, what's he going to do?
He's gonna poke us out.
He's gonna play Kovacs, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna sit back here, and he's gonna ruin everybody.
Yeah. I have like freaking PTSD with Zen play. So every time I see a Zen, it's like he has to be taken out.
Now you have to utilize your logic here. You have to be like, is this guy killable? Is he too far away? Is he too safe? Sometimes he is. Sometimes you just have to prioritize other things, right? Maybe you fly in the ball, Kiriko, for some CDs, hide from the Zenyatta. But here, you're like, you know what? I think I can get this guy. And the way that you even the way that you get on top of him is really smart too, right? And so guess what? He dies. And you know what? Your team doesn't die at the same time. Why? Because there's no Zenyatta on the battlefield. Do you see the difference between what you just did right there and what you did over here?
I think I know, but I can't really explain what.
Well, try to, because even if you're not able to explain it perfectly, the fact that you said "I think I know" doesn't inspire enough confidence in me. Okay. That's probably just as much my fault as it is yours, but that's okay. I'm putting all the blame on you because that's my position. So you figure it out. Why?
Well, because there's no well, so that my team was fine. They were okay for the time being, and it was okay to go on them, I guess.
What would have happened if you had not gone in Zenyatta here?
It would have been he would have gotten free reign on us while the ball's diving, and then while I'm trying to peel for the ball and Kiriko that's on our team, I'm just
What
be
would have
taking a
happened
lot
if
of
you'd
damage.
ignored the Zen here?
What would have happened?
Remember the Eliari
Oh,
ultimate?
nothing. Oh, yeah, nothing. Nothing would have
Nothing.
happened.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't in a position to do anything. So do you see how it always comes back to whack-a-mole? Always.
Yeah.
Now, some of those moles, those stupid moles, are snipers. And so
Yeah.
they look like they're not really peeping their heads up, but they are. And so you got to respect that.
Okay.
But right now, the Zenyatta would have absolutely butchered you guys. So all you need to be asking yourself is who's doing something right now, and who am I best equipped to deal with?
Yeah.
Right now, if there had been like, let's say, I don't know, maybe an Iliari over here. Not the best example, but let's just roll with it. Okay, Iliari over here. Okay, she would have been doing a lot of damage to your team, right? But diving an Iliari and killing an Iliari, would that have been as easy of a mole to whack?
Not as easy as Zen because she
Right.
can get away.
But also not as lethal as Zenyatta at the same time. That's the balance, right? So in that situation, maybe there's a tricky decision about, do I disown the Iliari or do I actually peel off these guys first? I don't know. Okay. What if this was a Brig?
No, you don't worry about her at all.
Don't worry about her, right? She could throw packs, but that's not really where she's most effective. So she's not really a responsibility. What if this was a Widowmaker?
Yeah, I would jump Widow.
You do exactly what you just did with Zenyatta, right? So you already have the knowledge here, right? But it's just like kind of like executing on it, right? And that right there, perfect. Good. Why are you prioritizing Genji over Soldier?
Because he was diving.
Yep, he's diving. Like, who is more likely to get a kill here? And who's more likely to get killed right now?
Genji, because he used deflect shift on Kiri.
Yeah, I mean, he's more likely to be, and he's a point blank on the Kiriko. If you do not shoot this Genji, he could one-shot your Kiriko, right?
Yeah.
Soldier, not really, not yet. I mean, he's a threat, but I think your teams can handle him, right?
Yeah.
And there it is. Imagine if you had not focused on that Genji, what would have happened, right? There's a real shot that you guys lose a couple of the blade here, right?
Yeah.
Now, what should you do right now? This is the moment of truth. This is where boys become men, right? So what should you do?
I feel like I think I could have killed Soldier maybe, or I think I don't know. It's hard. I forgot what I did, and I forgot.
Don't think about what you did. Think about what should you do in the next 5-10 seconds.
I guess help with ball since he's the one fighting, and Soldier's just shooting me.
No. Wait a second. What happens if you leave the Soldier for 0.6 seconds?
He's gonna peek and start shooting.
Right. This is one of the questions. This is not Soldier's not over here now. Soldier's all the way right here. So I'm gonna ask the question again. What should you do?
I would say Soldier.
I might not push the Soldier necessarily because he's got healing and stuff, but I don't want to leave this position because I'm scared if I do, he's gonna walk forward.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So how do you manage this? How do you balance these two very difficult? Because now you got two moles, right? So how do you manage those two moles?
I guess just stay there and wait, see what happens.
Sure. Shoot the Soldier a little bit. Maybe I walk to cover here and shoot the ball, but I'm listening. But I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to use my boosters, and I'm not leaving this corner.
Yeah.
You kind of see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
See what you do. Yeah, see, you already do that. You're like, okay, ball's out, find the Soldier. See, you did it.
Yeah.
You do this automatically already, but you can kind of see where you make the wrong read. It's costing you fights. And so we want to process this a little bit better. Nice. But yeah, this is solid D.Va play. I'm not gonna lie. This is good.
And I think this next round, they do the good old counter swap.
Yeah.
And Zarya. On this map, I feel like Zarya. I don't like on maps where D.Va's good. I don't struggle against Zarya, but maps like this where I feel like I have a little bit harder time. Where it's like, all right, now I kind of have to.
I will say, their comp gives you a lot to do though, besides Zarya.
Yeah.
So you see this comp, and obviously we have the power of hindsight, right? Like we have all the time to think about it in the world. But what should you do as soon as you hear Zen, Widow, you see Zarya? What should you do?
I guess take a position on him. Try to
And
like set up
where?
for maybe top right.
Hmm. I don't know if you can get there though in time, right?
Yeah. And I feel like so a thing I struggled with before where I feel like I know probably should do that, but then I feel like I find myself feeding or maybe I do it too early and I die and they just all look at me and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing? You're just flying over there by yourself." And then they'll shoot me. But I don't think I did in this game, but I did on like there's examples of this like I did on like New Junk City where I would
Sure,
try to take like a high ground position against Zarya and then they all just look at me and shoot me. I
sure,
just
sure,
take a lot of
sure.
damage.
I mean, yeah, we'd have to look at that in a case by case basis. But honestly, here the problem is that you're just here, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel very good. This is where honestly, I would probably look to set up a flank. I'd fly over this way and look to
Okay.
set, maybe even wrap around here, and your team's gonna be like, "What is he doing?" But you can do all sorts of shenanigans. You can do all sorts of shenanigans. Avoid the Zarya, get at the back line.
Okay.
I mean, this is okay because you're using cover really well, right? But it's going to cost you your life just because that Zarya spends way too much time beaming you, and at high charge as well. Not a bad fight from you, but just not a very good one. Okay, and then Zarya.
Yeah, swap.
Do you want to let's? Is there any more D.Va? Yeah, let's look at a little bit more D.Va. That work for you?
Yeah, I think I swap. Yeah, I swap around a little. I go D.Va for a little bit. And
Go Winston and Orisa, I think.
Yeah.
I remember same goal here, right? Whack-a-mole. Who's the most aggressive member on the enemy team right now? Trick question.
It's like they are dangerous on the high ground, but I can't do anything about it right now
Are you
because they're all
sure?
there.
Are you sure?
I feel like because I mean I do it, but I die for it.
Well, then maybe it's the execution that was bad.
Yeah,
But just answer the question. Who's the most dangerous person on the enemy team right now?
I'd say soldiers then.
Yeah, I would agree. Then Doomfist is not engaged. Those guys are peeking aggressively. So what's the best way that you can stage for these guys to either kill, contest, threaten, or control the mole?
That I don't know.
What is your character's range?
Close range.
Close range. How do you get to these long range characters while taking as little damage as possible?
I guess go through left maybe, but the doom's there.
What's the opposite of left?
Go right.
You got me?
Okay. Yeah.
You got the mega. If they drop you, you're like, okay, take their spot. If they don't drop, what could you do from here?
Just kind of poke at them.
I mean, watch this. Ready? Zoom.
Oh yeah.
Full matrix, full matrix, full matrix drop. They are going to be screaming for about 3 or 4 seconds. And you've just taken 4 people's attention for 3 or 4 seconds and lived to tell the tale easily.
Okay.
And guess what? You drop, you grab the mega again. Or you grab the mega again. And then you do it again. You got me? You're really now there's not now it's like peeling Doomfist unless these guys are in spawn is not at all the play. Not at all the play, as I'm sure you've probably recognized, right? You need to control these guys because these are the real threats because this is what they're doing. So you're equipped for that. That's why you have 3 seconds of matrix and 650 HP, right? The problem is if there's an indecision or you don't engage very well. Like, see, this is all fine. Just know that, okay, we're all done now, right? Matrix is gone, missiles are gone, HP is starting to be gone.
Yeah.
And so the play was great, right? Because look at the Doomfist. Watch this guy. See this? If you had played that smarter, you and your Genji, you would have gotten out with more HP than the Doomfist. And also look at how your team would have had positioning. You see this? They've actually started to take space slowly, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Something to consider. I think you obviously, I mean, is D.Va the best pick into that? Maybe, maybe not. But I actually think she's fine. She's quite good. Okay. Any questions about D.Va?
No, I think I got it. It's just I stick to what just execute better is I guess the main thing.
Execution better. Finding ways to close the distance without losing HP. I mean, that's the thing with D.Va, right? Like you are a very short range character. Okay, let's do you want to go back to look at your Zarya? Do you want to look at your Winston? You want to look at your Orisa? What do you got?
Let me think. Because I did have I forgot. Let me see real
Oh yeah, we
quick.
can look at another code too. Whatever you'd like.
Um, I forgot what I played on King's Row here. I just look real quick. Oh, it's Zarya. Yeah, let me just look at Zarya
Okay.
because I
Look
played
at
Zarya on
Zarya.
King.
Yeah, I think Zarya is a pretty decent choice into this. I mean, it's you have a Genji to bubble. You can play it very selfishly with your bubbles. Now you're gonna have the same problems where Bap's in, Soldier. You are gonna need to close the distance there. To be very clear, especially when you're not communicating with anybody, I do not like bubbling predictively.
Okay.
Do not predict bubble, react.
All right.
And I actually think that goes for your own bubbles as well. Don't predict damage unless you physically see it coming, like Junkrat grenades. React to taking damage.
Okay.
That's a good way to avoid it because, yeah, you see that? Painful.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
Yeah.
And there will be times where you're like, oh, I should have bubbled him because he got literally one shot, but that's going to be the vast minority of times. Instead, you should be walking into this with double bubble and being like, yo, come on, hit me in the mouth. Come on, hit me. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and even that one, right? Oh, I think they need bubble. Do they? Are you sure? What about you walk forward and shoot what's shooting her and then bubble to yourself when they start to shoot you back? That's better. You got me?
Mm-hmm.
Earn your bubbles is one of the things I like to say by doing damage and taking space. That's one way to think selfishly about it. That way you can guarantee charge. Like right now, what are you doing that you could do or couldn't do without a bubble?
Poke, I guess.
Could you poke this without a bubble?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why bubble?
Yeah.
And you're thinking, well, I want to get charged. Well, you're thinking, I want to get charged, right? Okay, fine. Then walk forward and do more damage because you have a bubble.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that not only will allow you to do, more damage and take more space, but it will also force them to shoot you more, which will then get you what?
More charge.
More charge.
Yeah.
Like if you'd walked up here with this bubble and started to laser this guy, I promise you get like 40, probably 40 charge out of it. And maybe do a lot more serious damage to them and force more cooldowns and heck, maybe make them drop off a high ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you it's going to happen with this bubble too. You see this?
Yeah.
What are you doing right now that you couldn't do just by standing at the choke and right-clicking? The answer is nothing. So then why bubble?
Yeah.
And you can see that now, right? So look at your charge. You got no charge out of it, and now they're going to push you, and you have to run for your life.
Yeah.
Same thing here as well, right? Full HP. Sometimes that's why I like to take a little bit of damage first, just to make sure that they're actually focusing me down, right? Because you got a 475 HP pool, right? You're not going to get one shot. Walk forward. The only exception to the rule when it comes to early bubbles is what? When would you bubble early before you've necessarily taken like any damage?
I guess like stuff like high spam.
Sure.
Coming at you.
Sure. Sleep dart.
Sleep dart. Yeah. Cooldowns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Stuff like that. Yeah. Anything that can CC or boop you. Yeah. 100%. You see how that right there, okay, obviously it forced Maywall, but like that, you thought, okay, I'm going to bubble this and I'm going to chase this, right? So that bubble was reasonable, right? Because you used it to walk forward.
Yeah.
And even here, that bubble allowed you to kill Zenyatta. You do not have that bubble, you die. It's that simple. And just so happens that bubble also got you a pretty decent amount of charge. Woo! Nice right click, man. That was tight. Wow. That was good. All right, let's see what we got here. Better-ish. I want you to tell me the timing to the millisecond of when you should have bubbled this. We'll slow it down.
Like right now.
Right now, when you're just walking forward even a little, still stay on the cover, right? But just a little bit further forward. But it wasn't terrible, right? You got a little bit of right-click damage on it, and it shows in charge too. Nice. I mean, obviously it's like, oh, unfortunate because I got grabbed, but you earned the bubble. 1, 2, grab, reasonable. Oh, please tell me this works. I just want this to work more than anything else I've ever wanted in my entire life. Please. Yes, it worked. Yes, just barely. Ah, thank goodness. I was going to be so sad if it didn't work. Okay, thank you. Nice job. That was good.
Yeah.
Remember,
The only
react.
thing was like, we're like, oh shit, we used a lot there, but I mean, I guess it was necessary.
Yeah, it was, and they used 2 big ultimates too, right? I think the
Yeah.
visor was pretty bad from your team, but that's more on your soldier making a mistake. Earned, yes or no?
Probably not.
Probably not. No,
I just got lucky with the right click.
It got lucky that the Helix like chipped it on the edge, but yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Not worth. And it's weird to think about that because you could be like, well, I could be getting a little bit of charge. I mean, yeah, you could get a little bit of charge, but remember, it decays. I would rather have 80 charge when it matters. Than 20 or 30 charge leading up to fights. Earn this bubble. See, like even right now, why are you playing so passively here? Is it because I want to bubble off the Winston engage?
Yeah, you know what? Because my friend's the soldier, I was like, all right, I think he might dive you. If he dives you, I'm gonna bubble you. But he doesn't even. Yeah.
Right. But in the meantime, I know it might be hard to like 180 around a bubble, but in the meantime, do damage.
Yeah.
All right. Because if I'm Winston here, I don't want anybody to shoot me until I engage. So ruin that. Okay. Right? Yeah. Ruin the parade a little bit here. You're trying to, but your positioning is not really assisting that.
Yeah.
And so ultimately you end up kind of doing nothing.
Yeah.
Before the fight starts. So it's all about doing damage, Zarya. All about good cover usage, short to medium range, earn your bubbles. That was an earned bubble, no? Even though it wasn't on you, right? This Genji is going to be shot. He is being shot, right? So let's check this charge out here. You see that?
All right. Yep.
There it is. And there it is again. Huge bubbles. It's a shame you don't have 3 bubbles.
Yeah.
But then that's not your fault. So. Get him. Ah, okay, but that's okay. But you see the difference in the bubbles here, right? Okay, so let's write up some Zarya feedback. Zarya. Earn. Well, what would you say? Let's frame it in your words. What do you need to practice?
Work on work on earning the bubbles. I would say I guess for like personal bubbles, I would try to take more damage, probably use my shield health, and then bubble. Or
ask yourself, what am I doing that I couldn't be doing without bubble? If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
And then reacting with projected. Don't predict. Usually. Now, if your Genji dashes into the air and pops blade, it's okay. But do you see even that is more reacting to what he's doing, right? It's not like, oh, I think he might get over. I think he might. Nope. He's going in. So he needs bubble. That's it.
Yeah.
Make sense? Okay. Any questions? We got time to look at some Orisa or Winston if you'd like to.
Yeah, I guess we can. I think Orisa was probably just for like a brief moment.
Okay, so then a little bit more on the Winston then. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see you pop off. Surely.
Yeah. And Winston definitely needs some work, that's for sure.
Now, the nice thing about Winston is it's the same thing as D.Va, but it's easier. Because look at what you're doing right now. How much value do you get out of denying the Doomfist as Winston?
Can't really do much to him.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
That's it. And because the thing with D.Va is it's like you don't have any really truly bad matchups, especially when you incorporate or factor in your matrix, besides like Zarya. So, you could peel this Doomfist off. Now, I might not necessarily do that. I might still look to kind of control backline, which we spoke about earlier. But as Winston? No. No, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no.
yeah.
Because now you're like, oh, I got the Winston out. Not really. You really didn't. You kind of you tickled him a tiny bit. You used your most valuable cooldown, and now the enemy team has 13 seconds with which to do whatever the frick they want because there's no Winston in front of them at all.
Mm-hmm.
No bubble. Just wait. Okay, I like this. Now remember, is this going to get kills in the year of our Lord 2023 in Overwatch 2?
No. Nope.
So what's the purpose of this then? I mean, you literally see it on your screen right there. Look what's happening on the back.
Yeah. Just I guess to have all their focus on me, and they can't help their doom.
Yeah. And there's a chance of getting a kill here. More of a chance of forcing a cooldown so that next engage you get a kill. But you do not want to let this Doomfist get help. And
Yep,
you see,
got him.
So let's see. Nice. Perfect. Really, really nice. It's kind of ugly. You didn't get a lot out of it, but you did get regenerative burst and you got heal station. Very nice. Very nice. Now, whoa, careful. Careful. Now, you do have HP, but you need to be very careful about this, right?
Yeah.
Maybe instead either AFK or look to like okay, for example, you see Mei on point, right? Could you jump this Mei?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Because she's alone.
She's alone, and she's fixing to walk on a point totally by herself. You don't necessarily need to jump full Mei if you're going.
Yeah.
But you see, kind of like your drive to go for the backline, it doesn't really do anything. Do you notice that? That's the key takeaway. Like you didn't do anything when you dove the backline afterwards. And so that meant that on your next dive, you're a little bit weaker HP. Nice job, though. The initial jump was really quite good. This does nothing. Why?
Where's
your team?
Yeah, they're safe. They're fine.
Remember, it's like when do you whack the mole? Just as much as what mole do you whack, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so now you're down your bubble. Now your tracer's in now, so that's helpful. But before, not so much. Even here, you got to be really careful. So your tracer made the same mistake you made. She went in. Maybe it's because she saw you in, but she went in. So she goes in. But remember, there's no help from your soldier. There's no help from your Ana. No help from the Kiriko. And she ends up dying for it. Right now, it's a little bit unfortunate, but she blew every single cooldown before your team did literally anything. That's on her. Don't make the same mistake. Because even though you didn't get punished for it, you should be engaging like right now, and instead you got juked, right?
Yeah.
So that window of opportunity, literally, get it? That window of opportunity killed your team. Nice. Reasonable. Disaster. More of a mechanical disaster than anything else, but honestly, like, but honestly, like, not the end of the world. Okay, let's finish this off. That's fine. But remember, it's your mindset that's wrong here, right? This jump to control, I hope you weren't going for Doomfist here. Let's pretend that you were.
No.
Let's pretend. Soldier, get out of here. Get scat, get out of here. Get out of here, Bap. Get out of here. Yeah, shoe fly, right? It's good. It's very helpful for your team. A lot of protection, a lot of space for your team. But remember, this is not going to get a kill. So, what should you do? You know?
Yeah.
I know it's weird to think about it, but like honestly here, you really should already start backing out to this corner here. Already backing out. Like you need to be like, I am on the way out. Right?
Yeah.
Because I know like, tank and DPS and support, support OP, but like the way this game is balanced is so that you don't get a kill immediately. Right? Otherwise it'd just be a really boring game. If every single time you jump to support, they died, it would be super, super boring for both parties, right? So it takes a little bit of calculation, it takes a little bit of setup, it takes a little bit of patience, and it honestly takes a little bit of good mechanics and good use of cover. And that wasn't there. So Winston, main takeaways, main skills to practice. Obviously hard to say from just like what, 2.5, 3 fights, but
yeah.
What do you need to work on from what little we've seen?
It's kind of similar to D.Va's, pretty much.
Mhm.
And then mechanics, primal mechanics for sure.
Usually don't waste time with Doomfist. Now, if the Doomfist is in your backline and the enemy backline is in spawn, honestly, heal the Doomfist. There's nothing else better to do, right? You might as well just, tickle him a little bit, throw a bubble in there, zap him. But it's always if there's literally nothing else better to do, then yes, you could peel backline.
Okay.
And then I would say check team's positioning. Well, I guess know what type of jump you're going for. Zone, force CDs, or am I actually getting kills here? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like when you jump top, like when you jump there with the Maywall, it's like you just kind of like you needed to keep in mind that they have wall, ice block, lamp, shift, Discord, healing station, helix rocket, right? Your job is just to control the backline, right? And then maybe your next jump, once your team deals with the Doomfist, your team can actually help you get a kill. Maybe you get an offensive on an aid or a helix rocket, or maybe your Genji or Tracer can help you. But that first jump, that's you on your own. It's gonna be about which tank forces more CDs and takes less damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Nothing I can think of at the moment. No.
Okay. Remember, your most important goal is the training structure, training schedule, and figuring out what works best for you. And
Okay.
seeing like what your drive is like in this game. There's nothing wrong with being a really great, serious Masters player that scrims a lot and has a great time.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing inherently better about being a Grandmaster player outside of you are somebody that enjoys the grinding, the competition more. It doesn't mean you enjoy the game less. It just means you enjoy the game differently. That's all.
Okay.
And I am in that category.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
Awesome.
Good
All
luck.
right.